political religious challenges to global education. The National Education Association adopted Resolution C-34 stating this, quote, "The National Education Association believes that homeschool programs cannot provide the child with a comprehensive education experience. The association believes that if parental preference homeschool study occurs, students enrolled must meet all state requirements. Instruction should be by persons who are licensed by the appropriate state education licensure agency, and a curriculum provided by the State Department of Education should be used," end quote. And if that is true, what is the purpose of home education? In 1990, in October, NEA Today prints the comments of Mary Faber of the NEA's Human and Civil Rights Division, and she says, quote, "Both right-wing and religious extremists have secured bans on textbooks containing stories about violence and sorcery. And Ms. Faber recommends that teachers report anti-Satanist activity immediately to your local National Education Association. It's your best defense against what's usually the real aim of such activity, an attack on public education," end quote. Are you beginning to get the message, sheeple? In 1991, in March, the National Education Association Today published an interview by NEA staffer Stephanie Weiss with Planned Parenthood President Faye Wattleton, in which the latter expresses her support for school-based distribution of contraceptives and comprehensive sexuality education, which would begin well before kindergarten age. Well before kindergarten age. In 1992, the NEA passed resolutions supporting sex education, abortion, and homosexual rights. The NEA has a gay and lesbian caucus and spends millions of dollars supporting political candidates. This labor union is active in many areas, not strictly academically related. Now let me give you my position on this, just in case you're wondering where I stand. I believe that adults are adults. And as far as my personal belief is concerned, moral transgressions are between the person and God. That's right. That's exactly what I said. I believe that all adults are free to do anything not expressly forbidden by the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of their state, or the laws of the community in which they live, provided they never injure the person or property of any other human being. But I draw the line in teaching this stuff to children who are below an age of understanding of what they are being taught, or the ability to discern how they are to use what they are being taught. If this is to be taught, it should be taught in the home, and not in the school by these Marxist socialists who are bent upon destroying the greatest nation that's ever existed upon the face of this earth so that they can have their one world totalitarian socialist utopian government. In 1993, on January 23rd, meeting in Stockholm, the 240 international affiliates of the National Education Association, known as World Confederation of Organizations of the Teaching Profession, and the American Federation of Teachers, shown as International Federation of Free Teachers Unions, joined to form Education International. Former NEA head and current head of WCOTP, Mary Hatwood Futrell, will be the president of EI. And this could mean the NEA and the AFT in the United States will soon merge and attempt to further their goals of nationalizing American education. And what they mean is national goals, national tests, national teacher certification, etc. And we've all seen these things happen. And then, ladies and gentlemen, internationalizing Americans and other nations' education. On June 7th, Forbes magazine published The National Extortion Association by Peter Brimlow and Leslie Spencer. In this article, sharply critical of the NEA, the authors note that, quote, as the National Education Association has gained in monopoly power, the cost of education has increased while its quality has deteriorated. Does anybody out there want to argue that point with me? If you do, I'll have you as a guest on this show, and I will pile up statistics that will bury you and the NEA in the crap that they have created. July 2nd through the 5th, at the NEA's annual convention in San Francisco, delegates approved resolutions supporting multicultural global education, abortion rights, and comprehensive school-based clinics. Resolutions are also passed advocating that teachers be legally protected from censorship and lawsuits related to sex education, including education regarding sexual orientation. Resolution B1 states that the NEA supports early childhood education programs in the public schools for children from birth through age 8. Now let me say that again, folks. Resolution B1 states that the National Education Association supports early childhood education programs in the public schools for children from birth through age 8. And concerning homeschooling, Resolution B58 indicates that, quote, instruction should be by persons who are licensed by the appropriate state education licensure agency, and a curriculum approved by the State Department of Education should be used, end quote. I'm going to tell you right now, I teach my daughter. No one else does. I can't trust them in the public schools. And I'm not licensed, and I'm not going to be. President Clinton addressed the delegates and thanked the NEA for, and I quote, the words right out of his mouth, the gift of our Assistant Secretary, end quote, referring to longtime National Education Association activist and staffer Sharon Robinson, who has become United States Assistant Secretary of Education for the Office of Educational Research and Improvement, and who sits next to Hillary Rodham Clinton on the front row of the NEA convention. President Clinton went on to say that he believed his goals for America closely parallel those of the NEA, and he further said, quote, and I believe that the president of this organization would say we have had the partnership I promised in the campaign in 1992, and we will continue to have it. You and I are joined in a common cause, and I believe we will succeed, end quote. And he was able to say that with a straight face and mean every word of it, because William Jefferson Clinton and Hillary Rodham Clinton are both committed and proven Marxist, socialist traitors to the United States of America. Good night, ladies and gentlemen, and God bless you all.